Hi, my name is Vinicius. I'm from Brazil. I'm a second year PhD in law student here at the University of Cambridge.
Hi, I'm Spatika. I'm a third year PhD student in neuroscience and I'm from India.
Hi, I'm Panpailin. I'm from Thailand and I'm a first year PhD law student.
Today, we're here to talk a bit about the Gates Cambridge Scholarships application process. In addition to being accepted by the university, the Gates Scholarship requires a personal statement as well as a reference. This personal statement has several criteria, of which we're here to share our insights on what leadership means to us and how we went about answering these questions for the scholarship's personal statement process. So, to start things off, Vinny, what does leadership mean to you?
In my Gates statement, I got examples from my own personal experience. So I wrote about how I was a volunteer lecturer at the university in which I graduated because they had a finance shortage. And also when I was a lecturer to people of color and LGBTIs, so they would be future public employees in Brazil. What about you, Chloe?
So in my Gates Cambridge interview, I was asked what leadership meant to me. So what I said was leadership does not necessarily mean you have to be the person in the front of the room or someone leading a country, but it could be through more quiet means. I was working as a junior diplomat at the time. So I said that leadership to me meant being a bridge builder between different people. And it means getting them into a room and getting them talking to each other when they otherwise would not. And finally, I said that you could also put your own thinking into bridge building and then putting your own agendas and setting your own policies while you put those people in the room. And that would be my interpretation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And for me, I think leadership meant creativity. The Gates Cambridge Scholarship has an entire 500 words for you to talk about something that your research statement doesn't ask for. And that's exactly what I did. I stopped being a scientist, which I am everywhere else, and I decided to talk about my journey working with the sciences and the arts together. I spoke about my experience working on a nationwide magazine in India, where we launched a science communication journal between 10 national institutes of science that was completely led by students. And it had 10,000 downloads on the day of its launch and was read widely by students across the country. I also spoke about my experience working on an exhibit based on a neuropsychiatric disorder called schizophrenia. Except this was an exhibit that was launched at an art gallery where they needed people who understood the science to communicate the artistic aspects as well. So leadership can be very, very flexible. And hopefully the tips that we share today will help you in your application.
Yeah.
Vinny, what are some of the best tips you can think of?
Well, those were amazing examples. In my case, I also think that Gates is an opportunity for us to become regional and local leaders and become international leaders. So in my statement, I also wrote that Gates, to be part of this amazing network and community, would also uphold me to those international leadership skills and everything. What about you, Chloe?
I think one of the most important things to think about while you're writing your application is the idea of narrative and how your narrative fits into the wider theme of leadership. So it's interpreted in many different ways. You don't have to be the person in front of the room, but you do have to reflect on your journey so far and what you want to be as a future leader.
Yeah, and following on from that, think about who you want to be as a leader as well as who you have been as a leader so far. And most importantly, don't overthink it. We're all leaders in very, very different ways. And you needn't have reached the top of the world to be qualified as a leader.
Exactly. And if you fulfill all the conditions and criteria, and if you have any questions, check the Gates website. But please apply and become part with us of this amazing scholarship. Good luck.